mo ho efe pa no kure nya me ne mo atade fa Africa atade na efe ese ja coat ne tie ne bo me kwa akopam bi okwa adom African market a obe mount ma enu apam da ma minja mo minister mote high table wa mo hwe ma na mo so be ye yinti no minja mo na mo ko minister mrepem ne be se hia ewo eye ginya me channel ni me ne da ne ma ne kasae o ma cho mo adwene o ma tuyefo o ma mba me di jollof anhwe keke da tuyefo say o Ghana ni a time yemfa time enye adwuma ne no na beboa ye da ye da so me ntwa ho ye ba sisi a twen
Obrumake o se aye
Mr. President, Vice President, Nanano, Befa Wishewa, Ikubenina, Jawana had. And I'm being any few, playing a letter. They were reading on our feet. Oh, yeah, and feet, par, it is sad.
เ
Clauses. And she said, who's in Santa Claus and come on? But so I never come home stage you. Who's in Santa Claus and come on? So I never come home stage you. Secondary school in Ghana. Yes, we are the Santa Clausians, at least old boys, yes. And yes, here's proof. So when we were putting this thing together, I kept begging my schoolmates, begging them, please, we have the keynote speaker, who's a Santa Clausian. We have the MC, who's a Santa Clausian, and then come to find out, we just turned the chairman, we got the Santa Clausian to be the chairman. And then, to top it all off, you have me. So, they all stepped out, and here they are. So, to make our brother feel at home, before I even read, he has a long bio, I'll keep it short, but we'll grace you with one of our favorite school anthems. Santa Claus is done at God. Those who have killed their school with your Amen. Blessing upon them, Jesus remember, strength of the name, others of them, and we share your glory. To exploits and out to their game. They are Santa Claus. They leave nothing but your best and never think of rest. They are all the school's great name. They are Santa Claus. So good they are. And nothing but your best, and never think of rest. We are for the school's great Research Society, the Clavicle Spines Research Society, in the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. His time is divided between clinical practice, teaching, and research. His clinical practice spans adults, pediatric spine surgery, with a particular interest in the spinal deformities. In education, he has received awards and given lectures on a national and international level, including Ghana. His research has included the production of peer-reviewed articles, book chapters, and patents. His research focus has been in the areas of gene-mediated spine fusion and surgical techniques and implant design, which has led to U.S. patents. A lot of educational and philanthropic efforts in this area, in medicine. I'm personally humbled and honored to have my fellow Santa Clausian and classmates here as our keynote speaker for this big occasion.
It's an honor to be asked to provide comments this evening as we take this admirable effort to support the Methodist Rafiki Satellite Village in Winnipeg. I have very fond memories of having picnics on the Winnipeg Beach with my mother and my siblings on weekends, coming out for a crowd. So I know the area very well. I also present this society. Eric Ishon, what would you like me to address, or the topic for discussion? He said, and how long should it take? He says, you have every latitude you want. Pick anything topic you'd like, and you can spend as much time as you want. So I figured, if you didn't want me to talk about some exoterical subject in spine fusion, or gene-mediated spinal fusion, something I'm better qualified to talk about, I'd say. So I figured, I thought I'd spend some short time to provide some reflections on my life, as it may impact this wonderful opportunity for us all to respond to the current challenge, which is the focus of this evening. The underlying theme of my comments is give back, contribute, mentor. In addition to two tenets, something you've heard already tonight, it takes a village, and teach a man to fish, he eats for a day. Give a man fish, he eats for a day. Teach him to fish, he eats for a lifetime. To illustrate this, I'll use my experience as a model. For background, you've been told by Eric, a professor of orthopedic surgery involved in research. Through these endeavors, I've been able to contribute to the progress of our society, including advancements in research and life-saving surgeries. This has been the result of benefits derived from a number of my mentors and events that formed my personal village. Because we all know it takes a village, has been said today, and I stand on the shoulders of those before us, the members, in each case, our own various villages. One of these individuals is here tonight. My senior and best friend who you've met, Kofi Young, whose help when I was in Idisco in physics helped me to blow the physics O levels, get the prizes in low and upper six because of his help and his mentoring. Similarly, I've received numerous thanks from individuals who I have mentored in the past. It includes physicians, surgeons, and some of the politicians we even had in Ghana. These examples remind me of the small gestures, advice, and support I provide to them. It's very important. Mentoring is impactful and provides enormous fruits of your labor reflected in the gratitude that you will receive. An individual's success and accomplishments in life is a result of a series of decisions and influence of their mentors. Mentors come in a variety of forms and sometimes through what may be a very brief encounter. They may include notable individuals individuals, both past and present, and in some cases institutions that may harbor the collective ideology or culture. My greatest mentor is the prophet we all know from Nazareth. The biggest, my mother, followed by my father and siblings, classmates like Kofi, and professional colleagues. Michael Eisner was the CEO and chairman of Disney. Recently he retired. And he was once asked, what was the most important entity that influenced your life? His response was Kuwaitan. And Kuwaitan was an educational institution that he went to summer camps prior to going to college. My affiliations have been in England, in the United States, but in my life, it was the institution of Addis Ababa College that gave the most impact to me and who I am today. You may be surprised to know that I was born actually in Sierra Leone to a Caucasian father from London and a Ghanaian mother from Cape Coast. At the age of 10, our father sent us to boarding school in England to obtain a British education. I'll never forget the first morning when I woke up in the hotel. I peeled back the curtain, and as I looked outside, there was construction going on. And there were Caucasian people actually with pickaxes and loading bricks and building this building. So I turned to my father, what is this? I was so surprised. He said, you will learn a lot in this new country. And he was right. When I was in England, he passed away. My mother moved to Ghana to be supported by the extended family system in Ghana. She worked hard to keep us in England, in an effort to help protect us from the trauma of my father's death and the move back to Africa. In England, I was a national boxing champion. Several years, and I was expected to join the British squad. That squad would then go on to represent England in the 1976 Montreal Olympic Games. I frequently remind my colleagues in the States that it's a good thing I did not go or stay in England, because if I had gone, they would not have accomplished the spine surgeon, and they never would have seen Sugar Ray Leonard, who was the U.S. gold medalist that won and later became world champion, because I would have taken him out. At age 16, my English teacher, a mentor, pulled me aside when I was in England and said that I should leave England, because if I wanted to amount to anything, I needed to do something else to leave that place. So I went back to Ghana, and I told my mother, I'm not going back to England. Find me a place here. In 1973, I was admitted to Addis Ababa College with the help of two mentors. My uncle brought him in as a minister during the Bush regime, Mr. Akeyinsu, another mentor, and I entered Addis Ababa College and met Olin Spobi, who some of you remember. Olin Spobi guided me, provided the guidance so that I could go and do the sciences and ultimately get to university. In 1979, I came with difficult times in Ghana. Most people knew that to be successful, you had to leave. By now, my mother was remarried to a very prominent individual by the name of Professor Eduboyan. He was actively involved in Ghanaian politics and standing up against the Champon and his union government. Followed later by Jerry Rawlings. Jerry's rise to power came with the abrupt removal of former heads of state. Because of our similar last names and backgrounds, my mother was very supportive that I leave Ghana for fear of retribution as a result of the killings. Everyone thought that Jerry was my brother, and he wasn't. In 1979, I attended Columbia University School of Engineering, and And for reasons we won't extend here, I was elected to go to medical school, but was told by an advisor that I could never get in, but I did. In 3 years, I completed my undergraduate degree and all the prerequisites to go to medical school. I received a scholarship for my master's from the chairman of the department who wanted me to do a PhD. But I told him, I'm sorry, I'm going to medical school. In medical school, I elected to visit Ghana, to spend some time in Koliko Hospital with surgeons to understand the relevant medical needs and challenges. 2 particular cases were forever ingrained in my memory. The first was a 20-year-old lady with no right leg. She had an amputation at her thigh, and she was sitting in bed with the wound completely open. So I asked the surgeon at the time, what's wrong with this 20-year-old lady? He said, she had a snake bite. I said, a snake bite? Why would you cut the leg at the thigh? Well, it started at the toe, then went to the ankle, then below the knee, and then above the knee. I said, but why? He says, well, she couldn't afford antibiotics. The next day on rounds, I passed by the bed, and the lady wasn't there. So I asked, what happened? She had passed the night before at the age of 20 from a snake bite because she could not afford antibiotics. The second case was another lady at the age of 20. She was involved in a motor vehicle accident on the way to Bo. They brought her to Koliko, probably in a bed sheet during those times. This is 30 years ago. She had what's called a partial spinal cord injury. This means that some of the nerves weren't working. She couldn't walk, but she could move her hands and some parts of her body. So I said to the gentleman, what are you going to do with this patient? And they said, there's nothing we can do. We'll send her home. I said, what? You can imagine a partial cord injury, being taken maybe in the bed sheet into a car. This partial cord injury now becomes a complete injury, when all they needed was just a couple of screws and rods. The World Health Organization recommends 1 physician for every 500 of the population. In Ghana, we have 1 physician to 16,000. The medical concerns in Ghana are things that basic like infection, malaria, typhoid, TB, trauma from motor vehicle accidents, heart disease, and women's health. Maternal mortality is 1 in 500 deaths. Infant mortality is 1 in 20. In Ghana, we spend the ratio of gross domestic product to patient $1,600. In the United States, they spend $52,000, a 45% multiple. In 2010, in Ghana, 5.2% of that small number was dedicated, the gross domestic product was dedicated to medicine, 5.2%. Whereas in America, 26% of the gross domestic product goes into healthcare. The visit to Koliko as a medical student taught me that the needs for a majority of Ghanaians is basic, not complex. Well-intentioned physicians provide individual clinics or build specialized hospitals. For sophisticated issues that are required by the minority of Ghanaians. Alternative groups provide specialized care as a mission. Then they leave, subsequently abandoning these patients, unfamiliar with the post-operative care without the benefit of informational knowledge transfer. I wanted to adopt the mantra, give a man fish, he eats for a day. You teach him to fish and he eats for a lifetime. We started a series of lectures at the British Council organized by SNIT. This followed with active dialogue with spine surgeons at the Department of Neurosurgery at Koliko. My next trip to Ghana, I was able to acquire $1 million worth of implants from the implant group in the States and took it to Collier. And we taught the physicians how to use these implants to help these patients. I insisted that none of these patients be charged for the implants and that they perform. I actively was involved and closely observed them use these implants and never got involved in the surgery until I felt that they were having some trouble. They presented some of these cases in West Africa and Nigeria, where the audience was amazed that we were doing this type of surgery in Ghana. Later we brought some of these surgeons to New York, and now they're working in Ghana, fishing for a lifetime. During this time, I performed the first anterior cervical fusion through the neck. The procedure was recently performed on one of my classmates 20 years later for his bad neck infection that I saw the other day. Some of us may know people. Again, fishing for a lifetime. Throughout my professional career, I've never turned away a child because the family could not afford surgery. This has been important to me. So when Eric asked me to come and say a few words today, my immediate response was, there are far better candidates. However, when he told me the purpose of the event, I could say no. Because if I could help a little bit in this project, it would mean a lot to me. The question is, why should I? Or you? Why should we help? The answer is simple. The Rafiki village children need mentors to provide guidance and support. That we become a collective part of their village. Furthermore, the Rafiki village is in concert with the teaching of my greatest mentor, Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ said, some of you may know in John 14:16, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Right? In 3 of the Gospels, in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, Jesus also said, and whoever becomes a little child like this in my name welcomes me. In Matthew and Mark, Jesus also said, let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. You may remember Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders raised 84% of his $18 million from donations of less than $200. We can't expect to sit back and let a single individual or the government set up. This is a flawed model and unsustainable. We should commit to becoming a part of the shared experience of those children, a part of their village. We must all contribute because it takes a village. The role of a mentor, depending on the relationship, is to provide knowledge, advice, guidance, motivation, emotional support, role modeling, and resources. According to Homeric legend, Odysseus was setting out to fight in the Trojan War. Anticipating being away from his wife Penelope and son Telemachus for a long period, he chose a close and trusted friend to be his son's guardian and advisor in his absence. The arrangement worked so well that his friend declined with age. When he declined with age, the goddess Athena transformed herself into the guardian of Telemachus, so that the thread of wise counsel was sustained through this process. The name of that trusted friend was Mentor, and their lies, the origin of the word now used increasingly in academia. I would like to encourage you all to consider the Rafiki village and its children Talmakas. And we all mentor. When we are no more, I hope others will choose to follow the goddess Athena and approach by providing wise and sustained counsel for years to come. Thank you for inviting me today to speak.
A round of applause for Dr. Roberts. Oko Super Palestine College. I was never been in a Palestine College. No one Sweden, Pen or Ghana. There are only 2 schools in Ghana. Palestine College on a hill, and then the others. So at this juncture, we're going to call the cultural display, and then thereafter we hit the floor. But
Yeah.
cake.